वन्दे वाञ्छित मनोरथार्थ चन्द्रार्धकृत शेखराम् सिंहारूढा चतुर्भुजा।
ओम सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। येनाक्षरस्समाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Sanskrit can be a very easy language if taught properly and in a proper structure using the right methodology. Sanskrit is very popular today the world over and is actually a live language. Although people say that it is an ancient language, it is a very much living language spoken and used in various parts of India. Let us look at the basic building blocks of this language and get an overview of the entire language so that we can make our learning a lot of fun. It is an easy language because in Sanskrit all that are there are nouns and verbs. The nouns are called as Subantam Padam and the verbs are called as the Tingantam Padam. Padam itself means word. If there is more than one word, then it is called as Padani. So you have Subantam Padani and you have Tingantam Padani. A combination of Subantam and Tingantam Padam makes a Vakyam or a sentence in Sanskrit. Now let us look at a simple sentence in Sanskrit. Ramaha Vanam Gacchati. Rama goes to the forest. The word Gacchati is the verb. The basic way to approach a sentence in Sanskrit is to first find out what is the verb. In this sentence, the verb is Gacchati, to go. Who goes? The subject, Rama. Ramaha. Rama goes. Where does he go to? Vanam, the forest. So Ramaha Vanam Gacchati. It's a simple sentence. So a sentence is a combination of nouns and words. Sometimes it so happens that a sentence may not have a verb, but it is implied. So the scholars, when they look at these sentences, by looking at the context, they arrive at the understanding of the implied verb. In Sanskrit, it is all about context. So it's very important to understand the nuances of this language. The contexts are built by the pratyaya. So let us look at what is the pratyaya. If you look at the Sanskrit word, a single padam, it is basically constituted of two components, prakritihi and pratyaya. Prakriti is the basic root or the container which holds the meaning of the Sanskrit word. When this Prakriti combines with the Pratyaya, you get a word. Now let us say the author wants to modify the meaning of the root. What does he do? He uses the help of a third component which is added as a prefix to this word, and that prefix is called as Upasarga. So you have Upasarga, you have Prakritihi, and you have Pratyaya. The Upasarga becomes the prefix, the Prakritihi becomes the container of the meaning of the word, and the Pratyaya becomes the suffix. Now when the Prakritihi is of a noun, then we use what is called as a Pratipadikam. The Pratipadikam combines with the Upasarga and the Pratyaya to form a Subantam Padam or a noun. Let us look at the verb. When the Prakritihi is introduced as a Dhatuhu or the root, along with the Pratyaya, it becomes a Tingantam Padam or the verb. So basically, I have just replaced Prakritihi with the word Dhatuhu when it comes to a verb, Pratipadikam when it comes to a noun. So now we have seen how words are basically constructed in this language. And we also saw the sentence Ramaha Vanam Gacchati. Let us take this word Ramaha, which is the noun or the Subantam Padam. Ramaha comes from the root Ram. The same word Ram becomes Ramaha to form the Subantam Padam or the noun, depending on what kind of Pratyaya or the suffix has been added to the Pratipadikam. The same Dhatu Ram becomes Ramati in case I want to make it into a verb. So I add a Tinganta Pratyaya. Why is it called Tinganta? Tinganta Pratyaya. Because it begins with Ti and ends with Ing. So it becomes Ting. So there are basically around 18 pratyayas which are used for the verbs in two sets, and there are around 21 pratyayas used for the nouns. So we have the Sup Pratyaya and the Ting Pratyaya. The Sup Pratyayas are Su Aujas, Autshas, Tabhyambhis, Nebhyambhyas, Nasibhyambhyas, Nas Os Am, and Ni Os Su. So these are the 21 Sup Pratyayas which are added to the Prakritihi or the Pratipadikam to form a Subantam Padam. Now let us look at the Ting Pratyayas. So we have, like I said before, 18 Pratyayas divided into two types, Parasmaipadi and Atmanepadi. For the time being, let us call it type P and type A. Type P contains 9 Pratyayas and type A contains 9 Pratyayas. So these are called as the Ting Pratyaya because they begin with Ti and end in Ng. What are they? In the Atmanepadi, we have Ta Atam Ja, Thas Atham Dhvam, and It Vahi Mahi. So these pratyayas combine with the dhatu to create the verb. So as I said somewhere in the beginning of this video, that to understand a Sanskrit sentence, you first go for the verb. You try to understand the verb. You pick the verb and then you start relating the nouns or the other words to the verb. And then the beauty of this language unfolds in your mind. Friends, Sanskrit has helped me to bring about a tremendous cognitive change. I have seen and experienced how this language itself can be used to purify the mind. So, even as a study and or as a spiritual practice, it is a fantastic and phenomenal exercise to undertake. I thank my teachers, for whom I have tremendous gratitude, because were it not for this teaching tradition that exists in our country and passed through the various teachers, I would not have chanced upon this beautiful language. I hope that this journey of Sanskrit together helps you to understand self better and gives a little more clarity to the pursuits that you undertake. With this, I will conclude this video, but let me just summarize what exactly have we learned in this session. So in this session, we dealt with Vakyam, we dealt with Padam, Padani, we have seen the formation of a Tingantam Padam, we have seen the formation of a Subantam Padam. To aid the formation of the Tingantam and the Subantam Padam, we have seen the pratyayas that go along with it. So we have Subanta Pratyaya and we have Tinganta Pratyaya. We have also seen the Prakritihi, and we have seen how Dhatuhu for the verb and Pratipadikam for the noun is used in place of the Prakritihi to create the word. Until my next video, Namaste. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
आत्मरक्षा नमः पापशिक्षा नमो विश्वकर्ता नमो विश्वभर्ता नमो देवता चक्रवर्ती परब्रह्ममूर्ति त्रिलोकैकनाथाधिनाथ महाभूतभेदं बुनु नीवयै ब्रोवुमेल्लप्पुडु भास्करा हस्करा।